The opposite of courage is conformity. I'm going to drop a name. Steve Jobs invited me to his home for dinner. And over the course of dinner, he said, Apple exists for one reason. I'm like, what? He said, to make products that were insanely great. I'm like, insanely great. That was what inspired people in the 1960s. Let's go to the moon. That's what inspired like Lance Wyman. That's what Steve Jobs did. Let's do something that's great. Unfortunately, over the last 20 years, primarily out of Silicon Valley, we've replaced this idea, insanely great, with
minimal viable product.
What are you going to do today?
I'm going to make a product that's minimally viable. You want to come with me?
No, I don't. The problem with minimal viable product, it leads to minimal viable thinking. And minimal viable thinking took something that was exciting and like rainbow, like the truck that Lance Wyman did for WCVB. And this was the symbol for technology for the rest of us, which is one of the lines that Apple actually used to launch the Macintosh. And it was meant to be democratic. The rainbow is for everybody. Technology, and it's, by the way, it's the symbol of the fall of it. It's the motivating story of Western culture. Steve is Eve. He's bitten an apple. There's a bite out of it, which means he's very conscious. And he goes, would you like a bite too? It's the symbol of consciousness crystallized. It was amazing. But what did they do in the last 10 years? Minimal viable thinking. Yellow, red, blue, purple. No, black. You ever seen these? I love this. Quintessential British brand. Beautiful, elegant. An American brand. Elegant, funny, a little funky. Great suitcases, by the way. Expensive as hell, but really good. Yves Saint Laurent, an incredible logo done by the master of 20th century poster design and the founder of the Alliance Graphique Internationale, M. Cassan. It was one of the last things he did before he died. The logo for Yves Saint Laurent, and of course, Dan von Furstenberg. So, England, America, France, and Germany. Yeah, and we go, here we go, Burberry and Ramona and Saint Laurent. The opposite of courage isn't cowardice. The opposite of courage is conformity. Now, how do we save ourselves from this? Well, let's go to our friends in marketing. Do you know anyone who, in advertising marketing, who uses this language? Do you use the word in your briefs, who's the target audience? Pew, pew, pew. Like what we're supposed to be is creative people, and we aim ammunition at the target audience? Stop it! We've militarized our language. And we think we're going to create things that have resonance by talking to them like a commander on a battlefront? We go into war rooms? It's insane. Now there's the branding world, right? I love the branding world. They love their charts. Have you ever seen these? I love the hierarchical chart. I like the Carl Jung chart. I like the integrated Venn chart. The user experience. I love Carl Jung's. Like who hasn't done their Joseph Campbell work? And throw out a few mythological archetypes, right? The closed loop marketing architecture. Oh, Jesus. Oh, the Unilever brand key. I love this one, and I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what that is. But we use these things. Nobody falls in love with a brand framework. Then design thinking. Don't get me started. They love words like this. Ever heard them use this word? Iterate. They love the word iterate. If I hear this word iterate more than 5 times in 5 minutes, I know I'm in for a post-it fiesta. One of these things, right? And they love it. What do you want to do? Let's have a brainstorming session. No creative person I know has ever asked for a brainstorming session. Not one. It's all the people who aren't creative ask for brainstorming sessions. And you get this, and you get more of these. I call these guys, don't call them design thinkers anymore, call them the posties. They love it. Oh, you're a postie, okay. When you're done, call me so I can get some work done. So how do we get back to insanely great? So we started Collins, my partner, Leland Mashmeyer and I called them up. And I said, I think we need to go to a place that sits at the intersection of extraordinary storytelling, incredible craft, and incredible technology. Where would that be? It's the National Library in Dublin. By the way, if you've seen Harry Potter, this is the inspiration for the library at Hogwarts. There's no photograph can make this thing as extraordinary, feel as extraordinary as to walk into this place. It's mythic. In the middle of this thing is the most extraordinary artifact that should not exist, but it does for some reason. That's the Book of Kells. And the Book of Kells was where Leland Mashmeyer and I began. What are the things that the Book of Kells holds that sits at the intersection of technology, storytelling, and craft? And it's this. This book is an anomaly. It should not have looked it was created in 800 AD. The manuscript is illuminated, and it's every page is one piece of masterwork after the next. But the thing that was interesting is the brothers, or the monks, who created this work, when they made it, the substrate and the paper that they used, and the skin that they used, and the ink that they used, it's embedded with gold leaf and inks that came from all over the world that they got a hold of. And the stuff was so expensive, if they made a mistake when they were putting down a piece of calligraphy or they were putting down a drawing, a splotch would appear on the page, and they would turn the splotch into an animal, or they would turn the splotch into a letter, or they would turn the splotch into a piece of decoration, or they turn the splotch into illumination. This was originally a mistake. I bet you can't find it, but it was a mistake that was made and they turned into an illustration. So what that meant was the intentionality was to create an extraordinary story and to create something that would live through the ages, but on the other side, accommodate mistakes, because the mistakes gives it a rhythm, mistakes give it spontaneity, mistakes give it a sense of humanity, and mistakes give it magic. So one of the things that we talk about at Collins is the idea of intentionality. And all you have is intentionality. Time, resources, material, deadlines, KPIs. It's very butch. How do we get the thing done? On one side, that's really important because you need structure. But if all you have is structure, you won't have magic. What you also need is unintentionality, a mistake. And at Collins, what we try to do is we never leave serendipity to chance. Unintentionality is the real secret of creating interesting work.